We already have some insane free agency news as of late, as the odds are looking like Klay Thompson might be an Oklahoma City Thunder member next season after this free agency and this offseason. I'm Bryson Akins here with Thunder Digest, but before we get into all this on this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. 91.6% of you guys are still not subscribed to the channel that are watching these videos. I'm looking at the analytics and everything, and a lot of y'all keep coming back and watching these videos, but you're not subscribing. If you love this content, you keep finding yourself coming back and whatnot, hit that subscribe button. It's free, it's simple, it's easy to do. It's the best way to stay up to date on your Oklahoma City Thunder news, and it's the best way to support the channel as well if you love what we do here at Thunder Digest. So like I said, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Try to balance that number out, bring it down some more, get some of you guys subscribed to the channel more, and we'll finally get into the video now. Now, I know we have the playoffs coming up and everything, but lately, Thunder news has been kind of dry as we're just waiting to see who we're going to play in the first round between the Kings and the Pelicans. And the game's going on right now while I'm filming this, so we'll see. By the time you're seeing this video, we'll know who will be playing. But there's been some other news that has been getting out lately regarding free agency. We've already talked about one potential trade. Potentially coming to the Thunder. A player who the Thunder fan base kind of hated for a little bit just because of the tough battles that we had in the early to mid 2010s and everything with the Golden State Warriors. And they always put on clinics against us as well, shooting absolute clinics. And it's just kind of, it's kind of weird seeing that name constantly be brought up as a potential Thunder member next season, especially getting up in age. But I mean, when you're looking at it and everything, here are the latest odds on some of his teams. Now, we're only fourth right now, and we're tied with the Spurs as well as, one of the top landing spots for him and everything. Golden State Warriors seem likely he'll go back there. Along with Orlando Magic at plus 500 and the Pistons at plus 800. But then we're in fourth place right there, tied with the Spurs at plus 1,000 odds. And when you look at it a little bit, some of it seems likely, and the other part of it, it doesn't seem as likely that he'll end up on the Thunder. It's a lot of, hypotheticals and everything, how big of a contract he wants, of course. He knows he's getting up in age a little bit, and he's not nearly as good as he once was. As we can go ahead and bring up the stats as well. Here you are. Here are his 2023 and 2024 season stats. They're still solid numbers. Don't get me wrong. 17.9, just nearly 18 points right there if you want to round up. 52nd in the league. 2.3 assists a game, 122nd, 3.3 rebounds. He's, you don't got to worry about his rebounds. He's a shooter. He's a spot-up three-point shooter. And then 43.2% from the field, 120 seconds. Sorry, I can't really talk, guys. I'm really sorry about that. But, he's all right. He's all right. He's just really decreased as of late and everything. He's not the player that he once was, and we know that. He's not this best second option in the league anymore. He's not the deadliest catch and shoot guy anymore in the league. And so if we go get him, we have to know it's going to be for a low contract and everything. And plus, we know he's not like even though his average says 18, he's not giving you 18 a night. As you can see, he's kind of inconsistent here. You can see from the last few games and everything, he had a 25-point game against the Utah Jazz where he went 6 for 12 from behind the arc. But then he had a 19-point game where he went 3 for 9 from behind the arc, and a few others there, like a 16-point game where he went an abysmal 2 of 8, along with against the Mavericks. In both games, he went 2 for 8 in with 14 and then 16 points. So as you can see there, he's not really as consistent as you can see, but yeah, he has some breakout games like this one against Houston. Now, granted, it is against Houston, all right? They're not the greatest team in the league, and you also look at some of these other big-time games. The ones that's most impressive that I'm seeing from here is the Lakers one, where he had 27 points, 5 for 10 from behind the three-point line, then 10 for 16 on the field. No, that's a solid outing against the Lakers, and the rest of them are just kind of like, yeah, I expect, you to do that, the kind of player you are, to put up 32 against the Jazz on one night and then 25 the other night, 29 on the Rockets. You kind of expect that from Klay Thompson. You expect him to be 20-plus against those teams. But then it's like, on these teams that are going to lay back on you, like New Orleans here, where you went 3 for 9, and then the Mavericks, they kind of let you shoot and everything, 2 for 8, 2 for 8 there. It just shows you're not as consistent as a player you once were. And it sucks to see because he is one of the greatest shooters of all time. He truly is. I'm not going to deny that at all. I'm a Thunder fan. I hate the Warriors. I hate Klay Thompson. I hate Steph Curry. He's one of the best shooters of all time. I'll go ahead and give him his roses for that. It's just, like I mentioned, he's not the player he once was. And so if we do go get him, it's it's going to have to be for not that heavy of a contract, as we are going to have $31 million in cap space available since Gordon Hayward's contract is going to be done and everything after the season, which also led me thinking, is this really the best option we can go get in free agency and everything? And it's just like, maybe it is. Maybe, I don't know. But when I'm looking at it and everything, I look at the list and everything, see all these guys here. It's, like, I'm not as impressed and everything. I see some guys that I know we can probably afford and everything, like a Pascal Siakam, I know we can afford him, and we need a forward and everything. And so it's like one of those things where it's like, is Klay Thompson, is he really the best option? And so then you also have D'Angelo Russell. I think he's a better guard to get than Klay Thompson. Now, granted, he's a point guard and we have SGA. But, I also see Markelle Fultz. He's a, budget option we can get. Jonas Valanciunas for a backup center and everything to pair with Chet Holmgren. He'll also be a good option there as well. And so, like I mentioned and everything, it's like we don't have a ton of bad options here and everything. Kyle Lowry, he's getting up there in age, so I wouldn't be worried about him. But if you really want to go get a true second option and everything for $31 million that's getting up there in age, who might even take a pay cut, you try to go get James Harden first. You don't settle for Klay Thompson. You don't do that first. They're around the same age and everything. And it's just James Harden, he's going to ask for a hefty contract, but he will be worth, $30 million. He will be, and I'm sure we'll be able to give that up, but it also kind of depends, what do we want to do? That's what it also kind of depends on. And you also have to look at, what does the roster look like right now? What do we really need? We don't need guards. We're fine in the guard position and everything. As you can see here, we've got Lou Dort at guard. We got Giddey. We got Shai. We got Isaiah Joe. We have Cason Wallace, a rookie. Aaron Wiggins, who saved basketball. What we're really lacking is really the center position, because we don't really have a true number 2 center, or a center that we can throw out there in the starting lineup with Chet, because it's very small ball right now. What we can do instead is go get a guy like Jonas Valanciunas, or there's another guy I'm kind of saving a video on and everything that I think would fit very well into the Thunder. That would be a cheaper option than all those guys right now that you're seeing that I showed you and everything. And so, like I mentioned, hey, I don't really think a guard is the way to go this offseason, but if that's like the option that we have left and everything, then sure, it's fine. Whatnot, go at him, blah, 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 blah. It's fine. Like, make some moves, and it could be nice to have veteran leadership on the team. It could be nice. Like I mentioned, though, he has to take a pay cut. As you're looking here, we're fine in the guard position. We are. We're absolutely fine. If we're going to trade for a guard, then go after, or you want a guard, trade for one, and go after Donovan Mitchell, in my opinion. Like I mentioned in the last video, if you want to see my thoughts on that and everything, you can go check out that video on the channel. Also gives you another reason to subscribe. But like I mentioned, guard is not the necessity right now. 100%, it's not the necessity. What we need is some size, and we need some defense and rebounding. So go get a forward, go get a big body center to pair with Chet Holmgren, and go do that instead. But, like I mentioned, I wouldn't be mad about Klay Thompson signing on the team, depending on the contract. There's a bunch of scenarios and what ifs and hypotheticals in these, little free agent talks and whatnot, and also with trades. It just kind of depends, especially free agency with some of these big name guys out there that we want to go get. It depends if they're willing to take a pay cut in their contract, especially for Klay Thompson, who's a guy that's not worth $30 million anymore. Let's be honest, he's worth like $20 million, all right? He's not like that anymore. He's not that kind of player he used to be. He's trying to find a team where he can win a ring, another ring, and ride off into the sunset. And so I think OKC could be that perfect fit for him and everything, as long as he's willing to take a pay cut. But like I mentioned and everything, that's all I got for this video. If you love the content and you find yourself keeping coming back, I know I said in the beginning of the video, hit that subscribe button. I brought up the graphic again here just so I can reiterate how important it is, and if you watch these videos, to even out those numbers a little bit. I'm Bryson Akins. This was Thunder Digest. I'll catch you guys in the next video.